The machines never stopped beeping. They hummed and clicked and paused like they were reminding the room who was really in control. Marcus Williams lay on the ICU bed, eyes open, chest rising mechanically as the ventilator breathed for him. Tubes ran into his body, wires clung to his skin, numbers flickered across glowing monitors. He was awake, but trapped. Conscious, but silent. A brilliant mind sealed inside a body that no longer obeyed. Beside the bed sat his son. Devon Williams gripped the Bible with hands that wouldn't stop shaking. His knuckles were white. His breathing was shallow. Sweat dotted his forehead. 3 weeks sober. 3 weeks saved. And standing at the edge of the hardest moment of his life. My father spent his whole life proving God doesn't exist, Devon thought. So why am I, barely holding my own faith together, about to pray the most important prayer of my life over a man who would rather die than hear it? Somewhere down the hall, a flatline alarm shrieked briefly before fading. Devon's chest tightened. They say there are no atheists in foxholes. But what about in ICUs? What happens when the man who taught you to question everything is the one who needs a miracle? The machines kept beeping. And then, let's journey a bit to 3 months earlier. Marcus Williams stood at the center of the operating room like a conductor before an orchestra. His hands were steady. Surgical instruments moved with effortless precision. Every incision was calculated. Every motion exact. Around him, residents and nurses watched in quiet awe as he navigated the human brain like a familiar map. Dr. Williams is a machine, one resident whispered. I've never seen steadier hands. Marcus didn't respond. He didn't need praise. One final cut. One last adjustment. Close him up, Marcus said calmly, stepping back. He'll wake up with full motor function. No deficits. Another life saved. In the hallway outside the OR, Dr. Rachel Kim caught up to him as he stripped off his gloves. Another perfect surgery, she said. You make it look easy. Marcus offered a thin smile. 16 years of practice. Anatomy. Biology. There's no mystery to it. The patient's family is outside, Rachel added carefully. They are calling it a miracle. The smile vanished. It's not a miracle, Marcus said flatly. It's medicine. Research. Training. Precision. Don't insult the work by calling it divine intervention. They're just grateful. For what? Marcus snapped. For an imaginary deity. No. I'll take credit for what I did. He walked away without looking back. Rachel watched him go, unease settling in her chest. Rain poured into a narrow Chicago alley, soaking the trash-strewn pavement. Devon leaned against a dumpster, hands trembling as he tied off his arm. His face was hollow. His clothes hung loose on his frame. He barely flinched as the needle slid into his skin. The world faded. His phone buzzed in his pocket. Dad, 12 missed calls. A voice shouted. A man knelt beside him, rough hands shaking Devon's shoulders. Stay with me, son. Cold air hit Devon's lungs as Narcan burned through his system. He gasped, choking, coughing, dragged back from the edge. Who are you? Devon slid. Someone who's been where you are, the man said. And lived. Devon tried to stand. His knees buckled. The stranger caught him. You got somewhere to go? Devon laughed bitterly. Home. But my pops doesn't want me there like this. Then come with me, the man said. We'll get you cleaned up. Figure it out. Why do you care? The man met his eyes. Because someone cared when I was dying in an alley. And it saved my life. Devon stared at him. Then nodded. The church was small. Folding chairs. Peeling paint. 30 people who looked like life had chewed them up and spat them out. Worship was raw, unpolished, honest. Devon sat in the back, arms crossed, skeptical, but restless. Pastor James stood at the front, voice shaking with conviction. "Some of you think you're too far gone," he said. "Too broken. Too dirty." Devon shifted. "You're right," Pastor James continued. "You are broken. We all are. That's the point." Devon's chest tightened. Jesus didn't come for people who had it together. He came for the mess. The addicts. The liars. The ones society threw away. Devon's walls cracked. "So if you're tired of running," Pastor James said, voice rising, "if you're tired of the emptiness, he's here. Right now." Devon stood before he could stop himself. His legs shook as he walked forward. He collapsed to his knees. "I don't know how to do this," he sobbed. "I don't know what to say." "Just talk to him," Pastor James said softly. "Like he's here." "God," Devon whispered. "If you're real, I need you. I'm tired. I don't want to die like this." Something shifted. Peace broke through. "Welcome home," Pastor James said. Marcus's house was immaculate. Devon sat at the dining table across from his father, clean and sober for the first time in years. "You look better," Marcus said. "I feel better." "The program working?" Devon hesitated. "It's not just rehab." Marcus stiffened. "Don't." "I found Jesus." There was utmost silence. Marcus turned to the window. "Do you know what religion did to your mother?" he asked. "It gave her hope. It gave her lies," Marcus snapped. "She died believing in a healing that never came." Devon swallowed hard. "What if you're wrong?" Marcus laughed coldly. "I've opened human brains. There is no soul. Just neurons. I was dead, Dad. Coincidence? I'll pray for you. Don't waste your breath." The door slammed. Marcus poured himself a drink. His hand trembled. Devon slumped in Pastor James's office, faith wobbling. "Maybe he's right," Devon said. "Maybe I'm just deluded." "You were saved," Pastor James replied. "He's a scientist. And you're alive. How do I reach him?" "You don't," Pastor James said gently. "God does." Marcus stared at MRI scans late into the night. A headache paused behind his eyes. He stood. The world tilted. His left side went numb. He fell. His phone sat inches away. Unreachable. Marcus lay on the floor, fully aware, utterly powerless. For the first time in his life, there was nothing he could do. Absolutely. Below is your clean, flowing narrative version of those scenes, no screenplay formatting, no stage directions, just a massive prose that reads like a novel or voiceover story while preserving all emotional weight. The ICU hummed with artificial life. Machines beeped in steady rhythm as Marcus lay motionless on the bed, a ventilator breathing for him. His eyes were open, alert, intelligent, trapped. Tubes and wires wrapped around the man who once controlled operating rooms with absolute authority. Outside the glass wall, Devon stood frozen, hands pressed against the cold surface as Dr. Rachel Kim reviewed brain scans with two other physicians. He already knew the answer before she stepped out. Her face said everything. "How bad?" Devon asked, barely breathing. Rachel hesitated, then chose honesty. "It's a massive brainstem stroke. The damage is extensive. But he's alive," Devon said quickly. "He's strong. He can recover, right?" Rachel's voice softened. "He's paralyzed from the neck down. He can't speak. He can't breathe on his own. The ventilator is doing everything." Devon's legs buckled. He grabbed the wall to stay upright. "What are you saying?" She met his eyes. Your father has maybe 48 hours. The brainstem damage, there's no coming back from this. Devon turned back to the glass. Marcus's eyes locked onto his. Fully aware. Fully present. Imprisoned. Can he understand me? Yes, Rachel said quietly. Which makes this harder. I need to see him. Devon entered the room like someone walking into sacred ground. He sat beside the bed. Marcus's eyes followed him. One slow blink. Hey, Dad. Another blink. A tear slipped down Marcus's cheek. He couldn't wipe it away. They say you can hear me, Devon said, voice breaking. So I'm just gonna talk. One blink. Yes. I know we didn't leave things right. I know you think I'm crazy for believing. But I'm scared. I don't want to lose you. Marcus closed his eyes briefly, not from pain, but grief. They said 48 hours. But I don't accept that. There has to be something. A nurse entered with a letterboard. He's been trying to communicate. Letter by letter, Marcus blinked. D. O. N. T. Devon swallowed. Don't what? P. R. A. Y. Then. L. E. T. M. E. G. O. Devon shot to his feet. No. I'm not doing that. Rachel entered quietly. Devon, he wants dignity. He understands what this is. What if there's a miracle? Devon asked. Marcus's eyes burned in protest. I'm not giving up on you, Devon said. I don't care how mad you get. He left. Marcus closed his eyes as tears streamed freely. Devon sat alone in the hospital chapel, staring at the cross. When Pastor James answered, Devon broke. My dad's dying. And he told me not to pray. Silence. What do you feel God is telling you? Pastor James asked. To fight. To believe when he can't. Then that's your answer. But what if nothing happens? Or what if you don't pray and live with that question forever? Devon wept. There's no right way to pray, Pastor James said gently. Just be honest. Pray with me. Already am. In the parking lot, Terence leaned against a car, cigarette glowing. Your dad's dying, man. And you're talking about miracles. That's exactly why I believe, Devon said. Terence laughed bitterly. You're scared. Hiding behind religion. Devon stepped closer. Come. Certain. Or maybe you're scared that God is real. Terence drove off. Devon stood alone, but resolved. Doctor sat across from Devon with practiced calm. Your father has a DNR, Dr. Henderson said. Absolutely not. These are his wishes. How much time do I have? Devon asked. A few hours. Then give me tonight. Devon knelt in the chapel until his body ached. When Pastor James arrived with others, Devon collapsed into tears. They prayed, not polished prayers, but desperate ones. Faith wrestling despair. Please, Devon whispered. Show him you're real. Marcus lay alone as his vitals declined. In the silence, memory surfaced, his wife's faith, her last plea. Devon entered. What do you have to lose? He asked softly. Let me try. One blink. Yes. Devon held his father's limp hand. God, please heal him. Silence. Devon stood, defeated. Then. Marcus's finger twitched. Once. Then again. Devon froze. He moved, Devon whispered. Rachel rushed in, stunned. That's not possible. Devon laughed through tears. It is when God shows up. Marcus stared at his moving finger, terrified, awed, undone. Hours had passed since Marcus had been admitted to the ICU, yet the room felt frozen in disbelief. Monitors beeped steadily, casting harsh blue light over the crowded space. Dr. Rachel Kim, Dr. Henderson, 3 residents, and 2 nurses all leaned in, eyes glued to the screens and the man lying in bed. Marcus's body was supposed to be unresponsive, yet now, it wasn't. Dr. Henderson studied the scans again, disbelief twisting his face. This doesn't make sense. 6 hours ago, his brainstem showed massive, irreversible damage. Now, the swelling is reduced. Blood flow is returning. One of the residents swallowed hard. Could the initial scans have been misread? Rachel's voice was sharp, cutting through the tension. I read them myself. Twice. The damage was catastrophic. This shouldn't be happening. Marcus, still intubated, stirred. His right hand flexed fully. His toes twitched. His eyes tracked movement with a precision that made everyone in the room catch their breath. Dr. Henderson turned to Rachel. We need to extubate. See if he can breathe on his own. It's too soon, Rachel protested. If he can't. Rachel, Henderson interrupted, eyes locked on Marcus, look at him. He's trying to breathe over the vent. His body is fighting for control. We have to try. Devon stood quietly in the corner, whispering prayers under his breath. Rachel glanced at him, her voice measured but tense. If we do this and it fails, he could code. Are you prepared for that? Devon's jaw set, eyes unwavering. Do it. He's not done yet. The team moved carefully. Slowly, the tube was removed. Marcus gagged, coughed, gasped, then drew a shallow, labored breath. And then another. He's maintaining oxygen saturation. 95, 96%, a nurse breathed, astonished. Dr. Henderson's voice dropped to a whisper. I've been practicing medicine for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. Rachel didn't speak. She only looked at Devon, then at Marcus, or filling the room where words failed. 30 minutes later, the room had cleared. Only Devon, Rachel, and Marcus remained. The monitors continued their soft beeping, but now the real miracle sat before them, Marcus, eyes wide open, alert, struggling to speak. Devon leaned close. Take your time, Dad. Don't force it. Marcus swallowed, trying again. Ta. Devon nearly collapsed with relief, grabbing water and guiding a straw to his father's lips. Marcus sipped, winced, and tried again. How? He rasped, voice barely more than a whisper. How what, Dad? Devon prompted gently. Marcus stared at his own hand, flexing each finger as if testing reality. How is this possible? Devon glanced at Rachel, who wisely stepped back, giving them space. You know how, Devon said softly. Marcus's face hardened. Even now, even after everything, his scientific mind resisted. There has to be a medical explanation. Misdiagnosis. Spontaneous recovery. Something. Rachel's voice came from the doorway. Marcus, I've reviewed your scans 4 times. There is no medical explanation. The damage was real. The recovery, it defies everything we know. Frustration and fear wove through his words. Then we don't know enough. There's something we're missing. A variable. Devon interrupted, gentle but firm. Dad. I prayed. And you moved. That's not coincidence. Marcus closed his eyes. Tears leaked, breaking the stubbornness of his mind. I don't want it to be true. Why not? Devon asked. Because if it is true, then I've been wrong. About everything. For years. And your mother? God, your mother died believing, and I mocked her for it. His voice cracked into a sob. If God is real, and he can do this, why didn't he save her? The room seemed to hold its breath. Devon sat on the edge of the bed, taking his father's hand. I don't know, Dad. I wish I did. But maybe it's not about why he didn't save Mom. Maybe it's about why he is saving you. Marcus looked at him, confused and wounded. Maybe Mom's prayers are being answered right now, Devon continued. She prayed for you until her last breath. And maybe this, you being here, alive, getting a second chance, maybe this is the miracle. Marcus stared at him, processing, wrestling with his own stubborn disbelief. That night, Marcus lay awake in the quiet ICU. Machines beeped softly, casting a dim glow. Exhaustion pulled at his eyelids, but sleep wouldn't come. And then he felt it. A presence. Warmth. Peace. Terrifying and comforting all at once. He opened his eyes and saw her. Diana. Radiant, whole, smiling from the chair beside his bed. Diana, he gasped. Hey, baby, she said softly. You're not real. I'm hallucinating. The medication. She laughed gently. Always the scientist. Even now. He tried to sit up, weak, unsure. She reached out, her hand solid and real, helping him. How is this, are you, he stammered. I'm okay, Marcus. Better than okay. And I've been praying for you. Every day. Asking God to reach you. Tears welled in his eyes. I let you down. I stopped believing. I became everything you feared I'd become. No, baby, she said. You became human. You grieved. You were angry. That doesn't mean you stopped being loved. But I blamed God. I blamed you for believing. And now, she asked, taking his hand. Marcus looked at it, the very hand that had moved when Devon prayed. Undeniable proof. I don't understand. I don't understand why he saved me and not you. Because my time was finished. Yours isn't. You still have work to do. With Devon. With others. You're not done yet, Marcus. I'm scared, he whispered, sobbing. I don't know how to believe again. I don't know how to trust something I can't see. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to take the first step. Say yes. To what, he asked. To the one who just gave your life back. To the one who's been chasing you this whole time. She began to fade. Wait. Don't go. Diana, please, he cried. I'm not gone, baby. I'm just ahead. And one day, you join me. But not yet. Right now, you need to leave. Really leave. Tell Devon I'm proud of him. She vanished. Marcus sat in the empty room, shaking, weeping, transformed. The next morning, Devon entered with coffee, stopping short when he saw Marcus upright in bed, a Bible open on his lap. Dad, where did you get that? Devon asked. Rachel brought it. I asked her to, Marcus replied. You're reading the Bible. Marcus nodded, voice trembling. Your mother came to me last night. Devon froze. What? I know how it sounds, hallucination, brain trauma, but Devon, it was her. I felt her. And she told me I'm not done yet. Devon's eyes filled with tears. I've spent years building walls, Marcus continued, voice raw. Using logic and science to keep God out. To protect myself from the pain of believing and being disappointed. But those walls, they almost killed me. Literally. He closed the Bible. I don't have all the answers. I don't understand why your mother had to die. I don't understand why I'm being healed. But I can't deny what's happening to me. And I can't keep running. What are you saying, Dad? Devon asked, barely breathing. You were right. God is real. And I've been a fool. Devon broke down, leaning forward to embrace him. They wept together, father and son. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to pray or believe or any of it, Marcus admitted. That's okay. I'll teach you. We'll figure it out together. Can you pray with me now? Devon nodded. They held hands. God, I don't have fancy words. But I'm thanking you. For not giving up on my dad. For chasing him even when he was running. For loving him even when he didn't love you back. Marcus squeezed his hand and picked up where Devon left off. I don't know how to do this. But if you're listening, if you're real. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for running. For blaming you. For hardening my heart. I don't understand why things happen the way they do. But I'm choosing to trust you anyway. Because you saved me. Not just my body. But me. The part of me I thought was dead. Opening his eyes, he looked at Devon. I believe. Help my unbelief. Devon smiled. That's from the Bible. Mark 9 verse 24. Marcus smiled faintly. Your mother used to quote that one all the time.